Well, it looks like it worked. So we're just finishing up a Q&A session. Today's Thursday. It's not my normal day to do Q&A, but there was enough questions. I've been super busy lately. I've had two daughters get married in the past 2 weeks, 2 Saturdays in a row, two weddings, on top of my graduation July 30th. I had a daughter married August 7th, a daughter married August 14th. They're both off on the honeymoon now, and things are starting to kind of calm down here at the homestead. So I'm trying to catch up on some of the questions that I've had over the past few weeks. I normally don't let it go that long, but it's just been crazy around here. So I believe we were looking at the Facebook group to see if there was anything new on there. Again, I'll put the link in the chat box. And if you don't, let's see, if you don't have my blog, here it is as well. If I can get that in there. Hey, Rizwan. Yeah, been crazy busy, man, but we're good. We're settling back in. So I came across a really cool infographic today. I wonder if I can get that up to the channel. It's a nursing infographic, and it shows the different duties and required education of different types of nurses. And I think that would be an awesome thing if I could make one for the rad techs that showed the different modalities and the way up the ladder that way. But just like everything else, that'll take a bunch of time. So I'll put it on the to-do list. But here's the Facebook group. Last question asked was about videos for fingers and forearms. You can see they got 19 comments on how to figure that out. I love how organic this Facebook group has become in the 2 years since I started it. You can pretty much ask questions now on there and get a multitude of answers from all over the place. Jason is doing a great job with his YouTube channel. He posts his stuff on here and links to it. I'm always happy to promote other techs. I encourage techs to create YouTube channels and share what they know. Back when I started 20 years ago, there was nothing like this. There was no way to know what you're in for or what to expect or how much money you could make or any of that in the world of radiology. And now that people like me and Jason, and let's just show a couple here. So who do we have? We got MRI Man. We've got X-Ray Ray. Your X-Ray Tech, Sydney Lira. She's awesome. She's a new student, I believe, still in her first. Is she in her first semester? Yeah, because she just started about 5 months ago, and so she's sharing how she plans her semester, how she studies for her test, about getting scholarships. A really great channel to follow, and. Jonathan Rivera, Julia still posts some stuff about X-ray, and I'm always watching for new X-ray channels. X-Ray Ray has done a great job of creating some tools that we can use, and he's doing now. Well, I can't say now; it's a year ago, but he was doing positioning videos, which are hard to come by. I mean, there are some on YouTube, but some of them are pretty old. I like how X-Ray Ray presents his stuff. And so, anyway, just checking in. I had to go abruptly during the last live session to pick up my kids from volleyball practice. And there was some folks online. I wanted to make sure I got everybody's questions answered. I'll hang out here for a little bit to see if anybody else comes back online. Let's see. Not sure about this question. Anyone been to Okaloosa Medical Center in Crestview, Florida? Also, any RV owners that have stayed in Florida since I'm heading there during hurricane season. So this must be a travel tech, right? What will you be doing there? Radiology on a 13-week contract. So this is another fascinating option, right, for our career, is to be. Hey, Rizwan, didn't realize you're from India. That's really cool. Welcome from India. Travel tech is really cool. I do have articles about how to be a travel tech and what it takes. If you go to my blog and use this little search box up here and type in the word travel, it should take you to a couple of articles. How much do they make? And different kinds of things, clean tech, dirty. So these are other articles. But this one, I interviewed a guy who runs a staffing company, and he talks about, what kind of experience you need, how much it can make, what different things you can get paid for, etc. So that's a good place to go to see what travel techs are making. Robin Packard here is headed to Florida on a 13-week contract, and these jobs typically pay about double what you make in a hospital. So you could conceivably work half the year and make the same pay as if you were working full-time year-round at a local hospital. Another good option, but there are pros and cons to traveling, so make sure you understand what you're getting into. So she's going to go in an RV down there. She does CT. Anyway. I always encourage memes. I've probably posted 100 plus memes on this group. You can see some of my animal images down here that I've received over the years. Here's me posting that there's a CT position, actually X-ray and CT in Midland, Texas. They're now offering a $10,000 sign-on bonus for X-ray techs and a $15,000 sign-on bonus for CT techs, including new grads. So you want to get out there and make some money, take a look at these options for travel tech. Here's somebody looking for somebody to help out on the weekends in Memphis. So I've helped this group evolve from just a Q&A forum into kind of a job posting. I welcome headhunters or staffing companies in, and I welcome rad techs who sell their own gear. What I don't welcome are people selling equipment, vendors hawking their equipment. While this group does have some administrators in it, it's mostly technologists and people looking into getting into the career field of radiology. So we don't really care that you're selling a CT machine. That's not what this group is for. If we want, and as administrators, if we want that information, we have people that come to our work all the time telling us that information. We don't need it in the Facebook group. So I do allow the headhunters to come in and post where they need it. I love the memes. Here's a person saying, I'm 4 days into school. This is Allison. 4 days into school, and I have 2 tests next week, 3 homework assignments, and 7 chapters to read. Bah! Yeah, I said, woot woot, embrace the suck. That's an old military saying, embrace the suck. But it's not easy, but it's high risk, high reward, right? Hey, there you are. Almost done with my second week. Is it normal for the intro to rad class to be easy? Yeah. Yeah, because they can't come right out of the gate and hammer you with physics, right? Or everybody would just give up. So intro to rad is the easy class. Patient care is easy. Some of it, medical ethics and law, is fairly easy. Some of that stuff is just a requirement as part of the curriculum. Everybody's curriculum has to have certain things according to JCERT. So you have to learn a little bit about the law of it all. You have to understand the patient mechanics, lifting mechanics, how to prevent injuries, how to properly boost patients, and how to properly move patients from the gurney to the table and whatnot. So some of it is pretty basic, and I'm telling you, Allison, enjoy those classes because the other ones are not as easy. And so I'm excited for you to be started in the program. And obviously you've learned that you can come to the Facebook group and ask any questions you might have. I was really kind of excited to see somebody posted earlier about finger positioning, and there was 19 comments on different videos that you can go see. I have some, but they were privately made. I didn't make them, but somebody else did, and gave me a copy. And I've been dying for 2 years to share those videos, but they're not mine to share. So I'm still struggling with. I keep telling that guy, it's an injustice to have all this information sitting behind a private website where you have to pay to get in, which nobody's even going to this website anymore. It doesn't offer things like RadTech Boot Camp and that kind of thing. I think it's a CEU website that's not really advertised, and they just happen to have on top of these CEU tests you can take all these videos about positioning. And yeah, that was you too. I think there's a lag on here between what I say and what you guys hear, but I'll keep going. So I had to share here. This is me with my doctorate in education and healthcare leadership, just to show that it is possible to go from being an X-ray tech all the way up the ladder, and you certainly don't have to. This was a personal goal of mine. It was something I've always wanted to do. Always wanted to be Dr. Jones, and through the different avenues that I found, like Weber State for the MSRS, and now Nebraska Methodist for the doctorate, it all just kind of synced together. It wasn't easy, I'll tell you that much. It's been a long road, but I'm done, and so I can move on now to other things. Billy Peters here. Did you have a hard time finding eligible schools that would accept PIMA credits? Yeah, because PIMA is a private school. PIMA is a private school, and as such does not transfer to every school. So you do have to be careful. I kind of oscillated between private and public. Right, I went to public university for my bachelor's, private for my x-ray, public for my ultrasound, and then public the rest of the way out. So PIMA didn't necessarily transfer, although PIMA does have their own bachelor's degree, an online bachelor's program. And that bachelor's, once you get an accepted bachelor's, it doesn't matter if you got it from private or public. Where you run into problems is when you switch. Like if you go to x-ray school at PIMA and then you want to go to ultrasound school at Gateway like I did, if patient care was the same class, they don't accept them. They don't recognize each other because they're accredited by different bodies, being private and public. But when you get your degree finalized, you have your degree. A degree is a degree. It doesn't matter if it's from private or public. An associate's from a private is an associate's to a public. And the same with the bachelor's and the master's. So if you do get your x-ray associates from PIMA, for example, I would recommend you just get the bachelor's from them and then take that bachelor's and go to a master's program somewhere else, public, because it's cheaper. And then, if you're interested in going up, that's how that works. Thank you, Martha. This was interesting too, Allison, and I know my answer didn't make sense. My dog's trying to get in. I shut the door. Ha ha. You wanted to know if there are any rad textbooks that are in Audible versions. When I said iPhone can read it to you, what I meant was if you can get access on your phones. Let's see if I can do one here. Let's just go to a website. Let's go to Aunt Minnie. And this may or may not work for you, but it's what I've done in the past. So I'm at my Aunt Minnie website on my phone, and if I drag down with 2 fingers, and I had to enable this, but it's on
sections, home, board review, cases, CME, communities, conferences, Europe, forums, jobs, vendors, more. Sign up.
So you have to
by Canon Medical Systems.
Enable it on your iPhone, and then you just drag 2 fingers down the middle, and it brings up the audio. And what you do is it reads everything on the screen, so you have to, it reads the title and the advertisements. But this one starts with April 13th, 2020. Use of CT has increased.
Canon Medical Systems. 6 Barriers to CT Dose Optimization by Kate Madden-Yee, AntMini.com staff writer, April 13th, 2020. Use of CT has increased significantly over the last few years, raising concerns about radiation exposure for patients and sparking debate over how to reduce it. But even if it's generally agreed that reducing...
That's how I read articles, like when I'm in the car or walking the canyon or whatever. But I also have it set at 1.3 speed. I don't know if you can see that. I learned a long time ago that your brain can comprehend what's being spoken at faster than normal speeds, sometimes even up to double, depending on how slow the person talks. So I listen to Aunt Minnie and most things at 1.3 times speed and can still retain and understand without going, what? What did they just say? So if you can get access to any of your textbooks online, then you can get them on your phone, and you could use that feature while you're in your car walking or whatever to read the pages to yourself. But you could also do the same thing on your desktop. So that's just something. I typically start my day reviewing a few websites like Aunt Minnie just to see what's new in the market, and I'll use that feature when I go for a walk or a hike or something like that. But that's what I meant by the iPhone can read it to you. So I hope that makes sense. Here's another video from Jason doing safety shorts. Again, he's doing a great job out there. Here's more people looking for help. Has anyone taken the bone densitometry boards? What did you use to study? And so I might have to. I tend to get into these that don't have a lot of answers and answer it myself if there's not a lot of answers in there. Sherry just said she's following. Clearly she's interested also. And then Kristen said she's glad Florida doesn't make you do those. So let me hop to my blog and put DEXA and see if I don't have an article on that. I know I've said something about it, but can't remember. General X-ray question. There it is. Bone density registry. So most people, I try not to sound like a broken record, but a lot of questions that get asked in here, I already have articles posted with the answers. So I now let everybody answer the questions on their own, and if I don't see, and this was all the way back to August 13th, so I waited a little long, but like I said, I was in the middle of 2 weddings at this point, so hopefully Rebecca still sees that answer. I'm sure she will. But just about all the questions, well, not all, but a lot of questions that get asked can be answered by doing a quick search either on the blog here in the top right corner, or by going to the YouTube channel and doing a search in my videos, because I have, let's see, I don't know if it tells you how many videos. No, but I have a ton. All these are on different topics related to X-ray. So if you have a question, don't forget to use the search feature. Don't be afraid of the search feature to look for it. And even in the Facebook group alone, you can do a search and look for like a real common one is shoes. What are the best shoes for X-ray? And I've actually done 2 polls in multiple Facebook groups, because there's more than one Facebook group for X-ray techs. Some are worthwhile, some aren't. And I polled, what is your favorite shoe? And hundreds of people would respond. And I took all that data and I wrote an article. And if you were interested, you would just type in shoe or shoes. And I'm not picking any particular word. You can pick any word of what you're thinking to get you to that subject line. But these are just a couple of sales. Whenever I see Hoka's on sale, I post it, because that's one of the #1 shoes everybody's wearing. But this is the article I wrote that includes what everybody said in the polls, and I gave them a scoring for ankle support, structure, memory foam, midsoles, arch support, and of course you can go on Amazon. It's an affiliate link, which if you click on this and go there and buy something, I get like 10 cents or something, but it takes you to look at it. And then I give a breakdown of all these shoes. So, and I did a couple of videos too on it, and I had Brooks Adrenalines that I thought were the best. And then I found Hoka's, and now I know they're the best. And I did a comparison on the YouTube channel. It's usually pretty easy to spot because I'm holding up both shoes right there. Ah, that's me. How scary. But I did a video of the, I was once blind, but now I see. Anyway, so back to the Facebook group. Lee Shat said, I work with respiratory therapists and they get a lot of downtime, but they say it's very stressful when they do have to work. So I'm not sure where the post came from because he's not answering a question or anything. Maybe he's just posting something he's observed. But 9 comments on that one. Caring for others is what we do. 4-way stretch scrubs. So this is someone posting scrubs. So I welcome that. I would really like it if we had some x-ray techs out there making scrubs. I would really promote that. But I accept that because we all need scrubs. This is a person asking who's requiring the COVID vaccine. I'm starting this program in the spring. I was wondering if y'all's employment is making y'all get the COVID vaccine. I think everybody is. I've heard programs are requiring it. Yep, programs are. Yep. Everybody's requiring only 2 answers, which is interesting. Usually everybody jumps all over these COVID-19 questions, but for the most part, everybody's starting to require it. You can exemption out if you get lucky, maybe for if you're trying to have a baby, trying to get pregnant, or some religious exemptions are being considered at some facilities. I'm hearing. Here's a vascular tech needed, scholarship. Well, that's interesting. Pima Medical Institute, earn a scholarship towards your bachelor's degree. I like it. So I graduate next year, but I'm already thinking about the registry and everything, and I want to be prepared. I've heard lots of great things about RadTech Boot Camp, but is it really worth it? Yeah, it is. Yep, 12 answers. MRI techs. I'm curious how much detective work do you have to do when screening? As much as you can, because it all falls on you if you put a patient in the scanner and there's metal in there. So they teach you all that stuff when you're a tech, when you're learning. Cross training into MRI takes about 6 months. It's pretty extensive. So if I put my administrator hat on, which I've been for about 10 years, I can tell you that I've cross trained X-ray techs into every modality that there is, and I have the programs I set up were it takes roughly 3 months to train an X-ray tech into CT. And of course that varies depending on how quickly the tech learns, how much exposure they've already had, etc. But CT is about 3 months, MRI is about 6 months. And then Nuke Med, you have to be going to a program somewhere, and then I can cross-train you for clinicals, but you have to be enrolled in a school somewhere. And same thing for ultrasound. I can bring you in and let you do clinicals on your day off, but you have to be going through an ultrasound school somewhere. Like Weber State has an online ultrasound school program where I could take my employees and put them in the ultrasound department for their clinicals, but they have to do the ultrasound school concurrently online. I've trained X-ray techs into IR. That takes a little bit longer than MRI. It depends on the skill level of the tech. And of course, cross-trained into mammography and DEXA, and I've done CT to MR. Pretty much every which way you could imagine. And that's pretty much it. I don't want to go too deep. This is back to August 11th. Somebody asking about the Radiology Tech Associate degree in Texas. Is it difficult? 4 answers. So there's a lot of helpful information on the blog. I don't see any new questions coming up on the chat channel, so I'm going to wrap that up. We've gone over the blog, the YouTube channel, and the Facebook group. I've answered some recent questions through Messenger and email. There is one more in email, but I'm going to take a break, get some lunch, and send me whatever you have. Don't forget to hit the like button on the video if you don't mind. Subscribe to the channel so you get, I think you have to hit the bell to be alerted when I'm coming on here. I try to schedule Saturdays, but like I said, the past couple Saturdays have been pretty crazy. So I try to come on for an hour on Saturdays, and I rotate between morning and afternoons to answer any questions you guys might have or talk about new technology. and we'll just end it there. So you guys have a great week, and I'll see you this weekend.